Hello everybody and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And this is not fully an episode for the How to Get Good series, but well, let's just call it a bonus and let's just say it's part of the series because it does talk about one of the game mechanics. It has to do with ramming. So this happened in one of my games yesterday, and I was absolutely 100% certain that when this Musashi rammed me, I was gonna die. And yet I survived. And that was a bit of an odd one because the conventional wisdom so far in World of Warships is that when a ship rams, it does its maximum HP in damage to you. And yet, weirdly enough, that didn't happen. So what's going on? So to the training rooms we go. A couple hours later, we've pretty much figured it out. Here's another one of those kind of interesting scenarios. Petropavlovsk, which I know is a work in progress ship and all, but ramming a Kremlin. It shouldn't happen. The Kremlin should survive. Right? Well, the answer is not really. I can actually kill it. So what is going on here? Let me introduce you to the magic of the ramming flag. Now the ramming flag has two things. One is plus 50% damage, but the other is a minus 20% damage reduction when receiving damage from a non-ramming flag equipped enemy ship. So what happens is you end up taking only 100% of your own ship's maximum HP in damage. However, the minus 20% from that ramming flag, you actually survive. So as long as you have 81% HP of your maximum HP to start, you will actually survive the first hit. And this actually allows you to get a second ram off, as long as your ship is sliding along the side. And this enables you to do 2x your ram damage. That's how a Petropavlovsk with a ram flag versus a non-ramming flag equipped Kremlin can kill it. Now, I can show you this in the funniest kinds of things. Here's a Harugumo. I'm going to go try to ram a full HP Conqueror. This shouldn't work, right? But pay attention to what happens. I'm going to touch, watch the HP bar. There's going to be two blocks of HP. The first ram and then the second one. Watch this. Ram number 1, ram number 2. Harugumo with a ramming flag versus a non-ramming flag Conqueror. And I can kill it with a destroyer ram. Another example, again, just sort of the same thing to reiterate the point. Venezia, which has that fuel smoke, allows you to get really, really close. Could be something that, you could do if you were healthy enough. Full HP Kremlin again. Watch this. And you have to slide, so that you have to come at a sort of a sharp angle so your ship will bounce along the side. So you can do 2x that ram in a very short period of time. Watch this. Ram number 1, ram number 2. Do you see that? There's 2 because the HP goes down to like 30k and then it goes down to 0. Essentially allow me to do 2 rams. Now, typically ramming does occur at combat speed for one or both ships going reasonably fast. So the previous effect will hold for all ships. Okay, there's not going to see sort of like, there's ship differences and everything. But when the speed is low, sort of funny things happen. So 10 knots and above really hurts, even 8 knots and above hurts. But slower speeds, like let's say 5 knots and lower, damage is almost like damage over time like. Ship displacement also seems to affect damage, where BBs do more damage to BBs when cruisers do less. So take a look here. Dunkirk chasing in Arizona, exact 10 knot difference, okay, in terms of relative speed, and it's going to hurt, watch. So 10 knots, it's not super fast, okay? And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to clip the Arizona from the stern, and watch how quickly the Arizona's HP just goes down. 1, 2, done. Arizona very quickly is underwater. But let's slow the speed down even more, and you'll see something very, very, very different. So here we go. 5 knot difference. Haruna and the Nelson. And watch how slowly this HP goes down. In fact, it goes down so slowly that a ship like the Nelson with its super heal can actually get its HP down, let's say around half, pop the super heal, and actually out-heal the ramming damage. In fact, if I don't heal, that Nelson might kill me before I kill it. But this is a 5 knot difference, and you'll see the HP sort of goes down a lot slower. Very, very slow. Still, obviously ramming damage, but it's just not as noticeable as when you're going at full speed and hitting each other. Yeah, you can see I still get him because he doesn't heal, but And this is what happens at really slow speeds. Look at this. 2 knot speed, very, very little damage. No flooding, by the way. Around 5 knots is actually when you will see the flooding, because it actually does about 10% of the ship's damage. So about 4.9, this is about 5 knots, as you can see here. There's the flooding. See that? That's about 10% of the enemy ship's HP. And if you just go that much faster, so watch what happens if I just increase the speed another like 3 knots. Watch this, 8 knots, right? And watch how quickly this damage picks up. Quite a bit more noticeable compared to, let's say, even around 5 knots. In fact, going at 8 knots, you'll see me sort of hit a couple of times, and that's enough to actually kill this enemy ship. If I was using a Moskva, for example, damage would actually be a bit lower because it's a cruiser ramming a battleship, and there's a tonnage difference there. At least that's what the experimental results appear to suggest. One final thing, if both ships have ramming flag, then the one thing that you have to note is that the plus 50% damage is like sort of 100% of your max ship HP plus 50% more. And the 20% reduction will not save you. So in this case, where I've got the ramming flag, Kremlin's got the ramming flag, I won't survive that first hit. You'll actually not see me get that second ram in because I will just immediately die because that extra 50% overwhelms that minus 20% reduction. So you'll see it's immediate one hit kind of thing. Other than that, yeah, that's the short video of the day. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new about the ramming mechanics. Other than that, take care. Have yourselves a good one. Be safe out there. And of course, I will talk to you all soon with a new positioning video coming up in the next day or so. Other than that, take care and talk to you soon.